What's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is another episode of Rickle Me Pick, and we are here with a big week, man. We got spoilers, we got leaked episodes, we got giant incest babies. You know what I'm saying? We got all of that, man. We got it all this week. So, but before we get up into that, man, hey, I appreciate everybody coming out. I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate everybody that's going to watch, everybody that's going to share. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, you follow me on Instagram at Rickle Me Pick. Right there, you can follow me at the original NR. YouTube right here, original NR Originals. Twitter and Twitch, you can follow me at NR_Originals. Hey, man, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you're out there sharing it, man. But now that we got the necessities, you know what I'm saying? Now that we got the admin work out the way, let's go ahead and get into this, man. We had episode 5. I'm sorry. We had episode 4, episode 504, Rickdependence Spray. And this episode came exactly 1 week after, 4th of July, which was, very fitting, being it was titled and named after, the hit blockbuster Independence Day by, none other than Mr. Will Smith himself. But this was a crazy episode, man. Like I said, this episode off the jump left a lot of people confused. Definitely separated. I would say a lot of Rick and Morty fans. If there wasn't a divide between Rick and Morty fans before this, there is definitely a divide of Rick and Morty fans now. The reason I say that is because just like South Park did, just like The Simpsons did, just like Family Guy does, and even just, other controversial shows, right? It comes a point where the shows, because they are controversial, they start taking a lot of slack. They start getting a lot of hate. And they try to do their best to please everybody, but it never works like that. So you got shows like The Simpsons and take Family Guy. Family Guy is a perfect example. When they came out, they got a lot of hate because they had a lot of gay jokes. And it came to a point where they got so much hate on the gay jokes, they said, we're not doing them no more. So they actually stopped. But then they were still getting hate. So Family Guy said, fuck it, and we're just going to keep doing gay jokes. You're either going to like it and keep watching, or you're not. And I think that's where Rick and Morty is now. They're definitely creating content that's controversial, a little hard to watch for some, maybe easily offended to others. And I think it's come to the point where it's like either you're going to watch the show because you love it, and this is, you get the humor and it's vulgar humor and explicit humor, or you're just going to say, fuck it, I'm not going to watch the show no more, and just find something else because, it no longer fits your needs, your viewing needs. So I do think with this episode, like I said, this episode was filled with masturbation, a whole lot of sperm. We had a cum queen. We had humanoid horses. We had, and like I said, we had a giant incest baby. So, let's go ahead and get into it, man. The episode started off real basic, I say real basic, like it's something, but in the Rick and Morty world, I guess it is real basic. You know what I mean? Morty was up with his mom's at the St. Equise Hospital where she works, and found a jack off machine. Obviously, Morty used it because that's what fucking Morty does. You know what I mean? And created, this whole tube of fucking, sperm that was supposed to be horse sperm. You could see him, every episode after that we realized, could we go back to the Glazorpazorps and Morty was smashing them down. He always got the OJ right after he's done. You know what I'm saying? He has to replenish himself, as we can see. But you know what I mean? So Morty went, smashed down, you know what I'm saying, the old jerk machine for about a week. Ends up Rick starts to use them because he's fighting the Chuds. The Chuds happen to be the horse people that live underground, parody to the movie 1984, I believe. Chuds, cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. So he's making this thing. He assumes that it's all horse sperm. Him and Morty got into a little argument. He has no time to argue. Morty ends up lying and telling him that it's all horse sperm. Rick ends up creating this killer sperm. You know what I mean? That's like killing people, like in this mist, like the movie From the Mist. It looks just like the opening scene, or not the opening scene, but the scene in the mist where all the monsters and shit. Yeah, it looks just like that shit. So you got all these, these cum monsters, these sperm monsters. You know what I'm saying? Like all over the place, just fucking shit up. Right before the Smith family gets eaten by these sperm monsters, they're saved by none other than the president himself, played by the OG of voices. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Keith David. Man, if you don't know who Keith David is, man, like you got to know Keith David. Gargoyle. He played in Gargoyle, Spawn. You know what I'm saying? This man, he played in what's that one with Ben Stiller? I can't think of it. But yeah, Mr. Pork and Beans and shit. Like Keith David, man, that's the voice of voices right there. So he plays the president. They come and save Rick. You know what I'm saying? They get their whole little spill. He right off rip, Rick tells Morty, like, hey man, like I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I need you to lie for me. Morty's like, man, I got you. Don't even trip. So he lies to the president, tells him, yeah, this had nothing to do with Rick. This is some shit probably the Chuds did. You know what I mean? So the president was like, Morty, don't lie, man. We on it. Morty, don't lie. So they introduced him to Dr. Shabubu. Dr. Shabubu is like this made-up scientist that they took like from Independence Day. I believe his name was Brent Spiner's character, Dr. Okun, right, from Independence Day. So they basically take like a Brent. I know I got a picture of him right here. Bam. They basically take a Brent Spiner, Dr. Okun from Independence Day type, doctor, and he's in charge. It's called the SPI. We don't really know what the SPI stands for. I have my assumptions. You know what I mean? I think it maybe stands for like the sperm parasite intelligence or sperm paranormal intelligence. I don't know. They don't really say, but Dr. Shabubu comes on the scene. He's all dirty. He got like stains all over him because he works around sperm and shit. They come up with an idea. They're gonna attract the sperm to the Grand Canyon. There's no reason why we need to explain. Beth was the only one who didn't get it, but there's no reason why we need to explain. Why the cum is gonna go to the Grand Canyon, as we can see here. Bam, Grand Canyon. So that's what happens, man. They go out to the Grand Canyon. While they're out there, they get shot down by a trebuchet, not a catapult. And that was, obviously the duh moment of the episode. Rick took it upon himself to make sure Morty, reminded Morty that he is an idiot. When Morty talks about he got shot, the sperm shot him down with a catapult, and Rick hits him with obviously that's a trebuchet. Everybody knows that because everybody would not know that. Trebuchet is just a lot smaller, has a lever, shoots projectile. I mean, a catapult has a lever, shoots, projectiles. Trebuchet is on a pulley system, whatever. You know what I mean? Not everybody's going to know that. But they knock him down, you know what I'm saying? And they end up capturing him. They got the OG Blazing with him. He ends up dying and shit like that, and Blazing was like this super ninja, badass, fucking karate type dude. You know what I mean? They made him look like, super OG just for him to die in like the most vulnerable, like weakest ways, with his pants down, wearing a thong and shit. Like he just went out. You went from this to, dying with your pants down and shit. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. They break out though because they get saved by none other than motherfucking Sticky. Yeah. So this is Morty's homie. He named him Sticky. I really don't need to go further into detail why they named him Sticky. But Sticky saves them. You know what I mean? When they get into it with the queen sperm, they get into this whole battle with the queen sperm. Bam, bam. She roundhouse kicks fucking Rick in the face and shit. I think I got a picture of that shit somewhere around here. Right there. Bam. Roundhouse kicked Rick in the motherfucking face and shit. Because he was like, you can't beat me. You didn't bring a a woman that knows karate and shit, which was a joke back to when Summer was like, I want to go with you. And he was like, nah, we ain't going to run into no woman that, that knows karate or some shit like that. Summer got blown over this whole episode. Everything that Summer was saying was on point. And then like Dr. Shabubu or somebody else would go and they would just take the fucking credit for everything Summer was saying. And I believe Beth went up to her and she was like, you're welcome to womanhood. Like today you became a woman. Like basically it's like no matter what you say, like they're not going to listen to you and they're just going to take the credit for everything that works. But like I said, they Sticky helped him beat the queen. Dr. Shabubu ended up, it was Summer's idea and Summer's egg, but Dr. Shabubu took the credit and they got this super huge, giant, fetal egg that they took from Summer that they're attracting all the sperm to. Morty lets them know, like, yo, like, don't do that. Like, I lied. The sperm belongs to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't let the sperm get to the egg because you're going to create this incest baby. So now they're like, holy fuck. At this point, Dr. Shabubu like says, fuck it. He ends up bouncing, man, jumps off the building that they're on top of, straight splats on the floor. Jerry finds it, a good 1-2 punch line like Jerry do. They beat the queen. Sticky ends up finding the egg. And they end up creating this super humongous incest baby that, floats off into space. And then, the episode ends, man. There you go. The incest baby. So you had, like I said, we're going to get into, the key points and the references and shit. But long story short, man, you had Morty jacking off in a horse machine. Rick creating, these super mutant sperm. We come to find out there's chuds that live underground. Morty's a liar. Nobody listens to Summer. The chuds help beat the sperm, and Summer and Morty created a humongous incest baby. That's pretty much the sum of the entire episode. All right? Now, the nitty-gritties of the episode, the Easter eggs, the details, whatever the fuck you want to call them, right? So this is where we get into it. This is the 4th episode. Let me take this down so you can see my motherfucking hands and shit. Bam, right there. All right. This is the 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4th. 4th episode, all right? That Rick and or Morty or Summer or anybody in the motherfucker has used the portal gun. The portal gun since episode 1 of this season where he got blasted by the super, mechanical falcons and shit, he has not had the portal gun. All right. So obviously he's lost it somehow. I don't know if he has to go to a different timeline to get one. I don't know if maybe a Rick from a different timeline will end up in his timeline and he'll jack him for it. Because we remember when they came to the timeline they're in originally, they lost the portal gun. And then they went to the Rick and Morty they buried in the backyard and took the portal gun from him. So obviously they're going to have to get a portal gun from somewhere, but this is the 4th episode where it has been non-existent. You know what I mean? So, which that's going to lead to the spoilers at the end of the episode. You know what I mean? I got something for you. All right. The chuds, we talked about that. You know what I mean? Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. It was a horror movie back in 1984. If you want a good laugh, I highly suggest you go watch it. You know what I mean? It's also interesting when I was doing the research on the chuds, right, and looking it up. There's actually a Filipino myth where there's this monster, like this chupacabra type monster and shit, called the don't scrutinize me if I pronounce it wrong. The TIKBALANG, which is a humanoid horse that lurks in the woods and the mountains, and it like scares people and shit. You know what I mean? This is what it looked like. Boom. Look it up, man. I'm telling y'all, it was some real shit. That it's a Filipino myth. I got a couple homies I'm gonna talk to about it, see what they could tell me. But yeah, man. So that's that. We had a couple movie references. Alien was referenced in this movie. Gravity was referenced in this movie. the handshake scene right here, where you know they're dapping it up and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna go kill the sperm," blah blah blah, doing all that shit. That was actually one of the scenes, or a parody from one of the scenes from Alien. You know what I mean? All macho right before they go fight the aliens and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, obviously, once again, Marvel. We all know. You know, a lot of Rick and Morty fans know. Some of us don't. A lot of the writers and people that work on Rick and Morty, they have been lost to Marvel. Marvel keeps taking all their writers and shit. So Dan Harmon and the directors and the writers and Justin Roiland, they take every opportunity to throw shots at Marvel. They did it in here. I know they referenced Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man. In the beginning, I think Beth says, like, let's go see whatever Marvel movie you kids are jizzing over these days, which is the lead to the entire episode. You know what I mean? Which filled with jizz. Damn, I know which clip I should have had, man. I should have had that jizz my pants clip for y'all. That shit would have been so perfect. I just thought about that shit, man. They referenced Lord of the Rings when Beth was like, should we be worried about the sperm, who was like super strapped up with the bombs and shit. That was from Lord of the Rings. I think I have that clip. Fucking raw ass scene, by the way, man. If you ain't seen Lord of the Rings, any of them, I suggest you watch that one and that scene. Super fucking raw. The astronaut scene at the end with the super baby, I think I showed y'all a picture of that shit earlier. That's actually from the movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock. Yeah, Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, right? Where they get lost into space and shit like that. She's out there working. Yeah, that's where they got the scene. Oops. That's where they got the scene right here with the big ass incest baby and shit. That's where that shit came about from. What else? Like, but a couple other movies, man. I think that's about it for the movies and shit. A couple good ass jokes. I know the president, when they were referencing him, Keith David, he called them the Orgaza Goblins, the Kumpelstiltskins, and the Skeet Boogans. There was also a scene where when the plane crash or the helicopter crashed and old boy used the grenade, he called them Krispy Kremes with a C. You know what I mean? Like I said in the beginning of the episode, the St. Aquis Hospital that Beth works at, the horse hospital, which is funny because Aquis is actually Latin for horse. So there was that. Let's see what else we got, man. Hey, I be looking at my notes, man. I know y'all be looking like, what the fuck I'm looking at. Like, I got all these goddamn notes, right? That I just be writing all day long, bro. Like clips and ideas, and I'll just get a shit, man. Fucking just, you can't even see that. Yeah, but that's what I be looking at, man. Oh, we had a couple guest cameos in the episode, right? A couple voiceovers on. And like I said, we had Keith David, obviously, play the president. We have Michelle Batuu right here, bam. Play Queen Sperm. Shouts out to her, comedian, funny chick. You know what I'm saying? Seen her in a couple things. Obviously, we had the Sports Illustrated. 1989? The 1989 cover of Sports Illustrated with none other than Miss Kathy Ireland herself. I know I got a picture of that shit somewhere. Oh no! Thought I had a. Oh, yep, here it is. Bam. So that's the picture they show. Right. And then we got the real picture of Miss Kathy Ireland on that sports, bam. So just a different pose, but, that was her. Everybody did great. This episode was directed by Erica Hayes. So shouts out to Erica Hayes, for this, bomb ass episode. This shit was funny, man. Like, hey, I know a lot of people because, like I said, it was, a little gross. In a lot of different ways and stuff like that, man. But to me, this shit was funny, man. And don't they look like Tremors? I know y'all seen this shit. I seen this shit, and then I seen somebody have posted up like a mock of that shit. Like that's basically what it was, man. They was like Tremors and shit, but it was old sperms, bro. Shouts out to Christina Ricci. She played Ponietta, and she played who she played? Oh, Kathy Ireland. Now, it's funny about the Ponietta shit, right? Because her name is Ponietta, which is very similar to Puñeta, which is, like masturbate. And the fact that, she was pregnant. But that's the reason why obviously they let the Chuds were funny too, man. They had that little fucking chant going, man. That when they were hanging Rick and fucking Morty and them, that shit was fucking hilarious, man. So, like I said at the beginning of the episode, man, I know this is an episode that's definitely divided people. You got a lot of sick people, man. When it came to like the whole incest baby thing, I know Kieran on his show, on the Rick and Morty show, or the Rick and Morty fan show, I know he mentioned it, and I had to do the same thing. When it came to the incest baby thing, this is not, when it came to incest in general, this is not the first time Rick and Morty or any other, controversial cartoon, Simpsons did it, South Park did it, Family Guy does it all the time. Game of Thrones did it. They had the whole incest thing going on in Game of Thrones. There's a couple things that incest has been in there where it was like a major portion of the show. When it comes to Rick and Morty, this shit is all jokes aside. It's like, yeah, Summer and Morty have this giant incest baby, but it's not like Summer and Morty were smashing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just super hypothetical fucking way it happened, and it would never happen like that. So, but I did have to block a lot of people on Twitter, man, because they were just talking crazy when it came to the incest shit. Yeah, man, I had to block them, but I found it fucking hilarious though. I find that dark humor and vulgar jokes, I find it fucking hilarious. A lot of people didn't. A lot of people were just like, "Oh man, this is disgusting. This shouldn't be on a cartoon. This and that." Truthfully, when I seen this shit, like this is how I looked at it.
Oh, that's nasty.
And kept on motherfucking watching it and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that was it. And then it came to the end, and we seen the big ass incest baby, and it went from that's nasty to
what? Oh no!
And just kept on fucking watching it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't really care, man. It's a cartoon. If you don't like it, all you have to do is turn your fucking TV off. On top of that, it's on premium cable. So you probably pay to watch that shit. Don't pay for the shit. I thought it was funny. A million people think it was funny. A million others don't. To each his own. But here, that shit was fucking funny. All right. But there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of weird people too. So they took that shit. That shit don't fit here either. If you weird with that shit don't fit here either. But that's pretty much the sum of this episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I know it leads off just in a weird spot, right? This is where we're gonna get into. I'm gonna let y'all know before I hit y'all with the spoilers. But this is where it gets into a weird spot. The episode just kind of ends in a weird spot. I know people are mad because, like I said, 4th episode in, no portal gun. Obviously, Rick and Morty have like been doing their own thing. This has honestly kind of been the first Rick and Morty episode, but there's still that separation, that distance between them. Obviously, Summer's going through some things, and she finds herself closest to Rick. Morty's going through some things, and he's finding himself closer to Beth, in my opinion. Beth and Jerry are still kind of finding themselves. I'm assuming this next episode is going to be a lot of Jerry, just based off of the preview we've seen. We could be wrong. They could have showed that preview, and then we don't see Jerry for the rest of the episode. But I'm sure that the Beth and Jerry portions of the season are coming up soon. There's still a lot of fan theories like, what's up with Evil Morty, this and that. Hey, I'm saving that for next week. I plan on having a special guest. Not going to announce it till next week because I got to, plan some dates and shit like that. But, yeah, we're going to have a thorough discussion next week with a wonderful Rick and Morty guest, man. So, but overall, man, this episode was dope. I liked it. But we're going to go ahead and close the chapter on this episode, and we're going to go straight into the spoilers, man. So at this point, I am talking about episode 7, Rick and Morty season 5, episode 7. So if you don't want to hear anything, hold on, let me see. Let me put it like this. If you don't want to hear nothing from this point on, I suggest you just like turn it off or don't watch it or whatever, man. But this is straight spoilers right here, all right? Straight spoilers. So
Make it through. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. You can't triple stamp a double stamp, Lloyd. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. Lloyd, you guys, enough.
So I'm not going to say a lot about it, okay? I'm not going to say a lot about it. I am going to put a few things out there, though, okay? This is the episode with the Gotrons, with the Voltron Transformer type fucking Power Rangers type shit that we seen in the trailers. This is that episode, right? What I am going to tell you about this episode is it's a lot of just moving pieces, a lot of action, a lot of moving pieces. They're not big on the jokes and the metaphors in this episode, but it does answer so many questions. All right. We're on episode 4 right now. I seen the leak for episode 7. It answers a lot of fucking questions, as well as that episode 7. There's a lot of callbacks to this particular episode 4. A lot of callbacks, a lot of things will make sense. Okay. Here is the biggest spoiler, and this is going to be the last one I give about the episode. All right. I'm trying to put this in a way where I don't kill it. Okay. So it has been 4 episodes that Rick has not used his portal gun. The answers, I will say it like this. In episode 7, the answers to why he has or hasn't used his portal gun will have already been answered. That's it. Mind blown. Straight up. Straight up. At least that's how I felt. Hey. So before we close this thing out, you know how we get down. We got to show love to the ones we lost. We lost a lot of sperm, which I call the little Mortys. We lost Dr. Shabubu. We lost Blazin. We lost a couple Marines. We lost some of the civilians. We lost Gene. Those who don't know who Gene is, Morty, back I believe it's season 3. It was the neighbor that Morty snapped on. Yeah, if you go back and watch the beginning of this episode, Rick even says when he runs him over, he's like, oh, man, I think that was Gene. We lost Gene. So I just want to take this moment and this time, you know what I mean, to go ahead and, and pay tribute to the ones we lost. Yo, that giant incest baby is gonna blow motherfuckers' minds, man. I'm telling you, that shit is gonna fucking blow people the fuck away.
Holy smokes!
Hey, real quick to all my Star Wars and scary movie fans, right? And I'm not talking about like horror films. I'm talking about the movie, Scary Movie. The Wayans Brothers shits, right? So in this portion, right, when they put Rick in the whole Han Solo type shit, I think I got it right here. Bam. When they covered him in sperm, put him in the hole. as he called the hand job solo fucking, thing. Tell me that scene didn't remind you of that shit. Straight up. Go back and watch that scene and tell me that didn't fucking remind you of that. You can't. Every time you see that scene now, that's what the fuck you're going to think of. Every single time. All right. So that's pretty much it, man. Let me go ahead and take this down. Bam. So next week, this Sunday, we got a Mordecai graffiti. It starts off with a Jerry Rick special. We'll see what the fuck that leads into. 11 o'clock, Adult Swim. You're not going to miss it. You can't miss it. Make sure you're watching it. But other than that, man, you know what I'm saying? Let's not forget the 3 reasons why people hate Rick. Reason number 1, they're jealous of his penis. Reason number 2, he probably fucked their queen. And reason number 3, his dick's too big. 3 reasons why people hate Rick. Those are 3 good reasons for people to hate you. But I do have some shouts out. It's probably not the most appropriate time after those 3 reasons of hating somebody. But I do have some shout outs that I want to give out, man. And I promised I was going to do it. So I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because, I love my kids. Everybody got to love their kid. So I don't have, well, first of all, shout out to my oldest son. Motherfucker been working at McDonald's, you know what I'm saying, for about a month now, first job. So shouts out to him, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and give him, some applaud, So shouts out to him. Now, I don't have my other sons, but I do have my daughters, you know what I'm saying? Certificate in basketball. This one, you know what I'm saying, she got for being a teammate award. My other son, he got it for, you know what I'm saying, for having the handles on the court. You know what I'm saying? So they out there, doing they thug thizzles, doing the damn thing. So shouts out to them. Anybody that don't like it.
You know what, motherfucker? Eat a dick, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Because they out there balling. So that's what they're gonna do. So shouts out to them. And then shouts out to my, my other daughter, man. She out in Florida right now. She probably watching. I don't know if she's watching. But if she's watching, Veronica, one time, give me a BAM!
Bam!
Peanut butter and jam!
What the fuck are you doing, Phil?
So there we have it, baby. There we have it. That's going to be the show for this week. I appreciate all y'all coming out. Make sure you catch me next week. Make sure you share. Make sure you watch. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you hit the like. Follow me on Instagram at the original NR or Rickle Me Pick. You can find me here on YouTube at NR Originals. Catch me on Twitter and Twitch at NR_Originals. Hey, man, I thank everybody for watching, all the love. I appreciate it, man. Like throughout the week, I be watching the numbers, man, and it really surprises me throughout the week that motherfuckers really be watching my shit because I just be up here talking about shit, man, that I love to do and, and trying to share it with the other motherfuckers that love to do it too, man. So shouts out to y'all, man. Hey, y'all can catch me tomorrow. I'll be a special guest, you know what I'm saying, chopping it up with motherfucking ACS himself on the ACS universe. So shouts out to ACS for having me on tomorrow for Flaming Fridays. So you can catch me over there tomorrow, definitely be chopping up some ignorant shit. So, hey, man, I appreciate everybody for coming, man. I appreciate everybody for watching. It's been a great show. I had fun. Look, make sure you're watching this Sunday. I will be back next week. We'll have another great show. Like I said, I got a super dope guest coming up. It is mid-season. We're in episode 5. We're halfway done. Make sure you motherfucking watching next week. Make sure you show some love. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for spending your time to watch this shit. Hey, man, it's all love. See y'all next week. Peace.